2018 Singapore. A black armored limousine slowly moves down the street, while men in dark suits run in perfect sync on both sides, never falling a step behind. These bodyguards are not just escorting Kim Jong Un's car, they are physically shielding it with their own bodies from any potential threat. In another episode during an internal event, security personnel raised their weapons and pointed them toward other armed officers. It looked like a clear demonstration that within this security system, complete trust does not exist, even among those who are technically on the same side. These moments became symbols of just how unusual the security system surrounding the North Korean leader really is. Which raises an important question. Why is eliminating Kim Jong-un considered nearly impossible? And how exactly does this security architecture work? The security system surrounding the North Korean leader is considered one of the largest in the world. Its foundations began forming in the 1950s and 1960s under the country's founder, Kim Il-sung. After the Korean War, he gradually built a model of power where the leader was seen not just as the head of state, but as the symbol of the entire political system. In such a structure, the physical safety of the leader automatically became a matter of the regime's survival. His son, Kim Jong-il, strengthened this logic even further. And when Kim Jong-un came to power, he inherited not just a group of bodyguards, but a complex security system that had been built over decades by several generations of North Korean security services. One of the key reasons this system has remained so resilient is its extremely strict selection process. Getting into the inner circle of the North Korean leader's security detail is nearly impossible without a flawless background. And that scrutiny applies not only to the candidate, but to their entire family. In North Korea, there is a socio-political classification system known as Songbun, and it plays a crucial role in the formation of elite units. The biographies of a candidate's relatives are examined, going back at least 2 generations. Security services investigate whether any family members defected to South Korea, had contact with foreigners, or were ever suspected of disloyalty. Even a family's role in the Korean War can be taken into account. Candidates are most often recruited from families of military officers or high-ranking party officials whose loyalty to the regime is already considered proven. In some cases, future bodyguards are identified as early as adolescents. Candidates may be monitored for years, while their behavior, social circles, and even personality traits are evaluated. But background alone is not enough. Physical characteristics also matter: height, build, and endurance. Members of the inner security circle are often expected to be roughly similar in height to the leader, so that he does not visually stand out when the protective formation is formed around him. Appearance also matters. It is expected to be neutral. After the initial selection comes a long period of training. Future bodyguards undergo intense physical and psychological preparation. Their reaction speed, stress tolerance, and ability to act without waiting for orders are all tested. Above all, they must be prepared to shield the leader with their own bodies in the first seconds of a threat. Whenever Kim Jong-un appears in public, it is the result of a carefully prepared operation involving several layers of protection. Few world leaders are protected by such a large and complex multi-layered security system. The first layer is the inner circle. These are the same bodyguards who ran alongside the limousine during the summit in Singapore, where the North Korean leader met with Donald Trump. They move within arm's length, forming a tight protective ring around the vehicle or the leader himself. Their job is not to engage in a firefight, but to instantly shield the leader with their bodies and remove him from the line of attack. The second layer is the mobile perimeter. This consists of roughly 200 to 300 armed personnel in plain clothes positioned along the route. They may be standing in crowds, at intersections, or inside nearby buildings. Their task is to detect threats before they ever reach the inner circle. At the same time, rapid response teams remain ready to block streets or create an emergency evacuation corridor. The third layer is the outer perimeter. Hours or even days before the leader arrives, the entire area is thoroughly inspected. Rooftops, basements, ventilation shafts, and technical spaces are searched. In some cases, traffic is restricted, and communications in the area may be temporarily jammed. The fourth layer is invisible. It is a system of continuous internal monitoring across the country. Security services track officials, military officers, and members of the elite to ensure that potential threats never emerge from within the system itself. Beyond the visible security apparatus, there is also a set of precautions whose details might seem unusual at first glance. After public events, a special team may clean surfaces the leader has touched, tables, chair armrests, or door handles. This is done to prevent anyone from obtaining biological samples. During overseas trips, Kim Jong-un is also reported to use a portable toilet, along with sealed bags for trash, waste, and cigarette butts that are transported with the delegation. These measures are intended to prevent foreign intelligence services from obtaining biological material. In an authoritarian system, even information about a leader's health is considered strategically sensitive. Special attention is also given to the leader's movements. Kim Jong-un rarely uses airplanes and instead prefers a heavily armored train, a tradition inherited from his father. Railway tracks are inspected in advance, bridges and tunnels are examined, and stations along the route are secured. Motorcades are organized according to the principle of duplication. Multiple identical armored limousines are used in order to complicate any potential attack planning. Routes can change at the last moment, and precise travel information is known only to a very small group of people. All of these measures show that in a state where the political system is closely tied to a single family, eliminating the leader would mean far more than simply replacing one ruler with another. It could trigger a struggle among elites, a split within the military, and a broader crisis of governance. That is why removing Kim Jong-un is considered nearly impossible, because what is being protected is not just a person. It is an entire system in which the leader's security forms the foundation of the state itself.